right, let's go. It's time for the men's game between the Wilmington Wildcats and York Post University Eagles. The women's just came off of defeating the Wildcats 89-69 to capture their 14th win of the season, their 5th consecutive win. And now it is time for the men's. The Eagles come into this one at 14-6 overall, 5-4 in conference. And for Wilmington, they come into this one at 12-10 overall, 5-5 in conference. A South Division versus North Division matchup here in the CACC. And the Eagles have lost 4 of their last 6. In desperate need for a big response here at home. They've fallen all the way down to the 4th seed in the North Division. So a must-win game here today for the Eagles. They started the season 12-2. Since then, they are 2-4. Malik Beasley wins the tip, and it will be Wilmington to start with it. Starting lineup to start with the Wildcats. It's Skip Burton, Talib Holloman, Kayla Matthews, as Holloman goes back door and banks it in off the window to open up the scoring for Wilmington. Amira Stewart and Malik Beasley in the front court for Wilmington. For the Eagles, Dan Dieng, Quest Harris, Robert Sanders, Bola Kopp, the usual suspects, and Harrison Warnock making his 5th start of the season. A Kopp lines up the triple, and it's too strong. It goes out of bounds for the Eagles' first shot of the game. So it's coming off of a 91-83 loss on Tuesday at Dominican. As Stewart gets out of the trap. Bounce pass inside to Beasley. Stands at 6'8". Hands it off to Burton. Now into the post for Beasley. Guarded by Warnock. Goes across the lane. The jumper is too strong. And Warnock has his first rebound of the game. Head coach for the Eagles, it's Mark Kuntz in his 7th year. And for Wilmington, Dan Burke in his 10th season. Bob Sanders, who had 19 points, led the way for the Eagles against Dominican on Tuesday as it poked out of bounds for the side out here for the Eagles. And it's safe to say that the Eagles have plateaued a little bit here in their last 6 games. Again, they started off the season 12-2. According to College Basketball Nation, they were ranked number 16 after that stretch as Dieng gets his up his first shot of the game. Deng Dieng leads the team in scoring at 16.9 points per game and gets his first bucket of the game to go right there. Eagles not up the score at 2 apiece. Kayla Matthews, a captain here for Wilmington, takes it inside and was fouled going up with the layup. So it'll be free throws here for Matthews. Averaging 10 points per game, making his 23rd start of the year. Matthews and Holloman, captains here for Wilmington. Matthews all chords on both free throws. Wilmington, the number 3 seed in the South Division. And they're 5-5 in conference, 12-10 overall. As it's to Dieng at the right nail. And off here with the con, it's stolen away by Holloman ahead of the field. And he'll drop down the right-handed sledgehammer. Up high, down hard for Talib Holloman. We've got 4 of the 6 here for Wilmington. A caught one more. Sanders, 3 ball, too strong. And Quest Harris, a former Sacred Heart pioneer, collects the offensive rebound. He carves inside. The float game is good. Harris gets his first bucket of the game on his first field goal attempt. Holloman pops up, drives it on the baseline. Kick out. Matthews, quick trigger. Dieng with his first rebound of the game. Now Harris, the scoop. No. Dieng right there for the offensive rebound and cleanup. Eagles knotted up at 6 apiece with 2.5 minutes played here in the first half. Matthews swings it. It is Amaya Irish Stewart way off on the three. Harris the rebound and the push. 3-on-2 here for the Eagles. Sanders inside, stripped by Stewart. One man to beat. It's a caught. He'll go right at Bull and bank it in off the window. Defense, offense for Wilmington, back up by 2. With 3 minutes played here in the first half. And Eagles in desperate need of a win here. And this is a must-win. They just cannot drop this game after losing 4 of their last 6. Dieng will try the long three-pointer. And it's Malik Beasley with the rebound. And he gets called for the foul on the floor. And the Wilmington sideline can't believe it. Harris will trigger under the basket. Gets it into Deng. He's doubled in the corner. Hit out of bounds by Stewart. Harris will trigger on the sideline in the corner. Gets it into Bolacott. Lacotte splits the D, elevates, and the jump shot is way short. Lacotte saying that Stewart got a piece of it, and it looked like he did, so we'll stay with the Eagles here. 16:31 to play here in the first half. 11 on the shot clock for the Eagles as they take it under the basket. It's into Lacotte, he'll elevate, and is fouled on the jump shot. So Bolacott, who's 8th in the conference in points per game, at 15.6, will head to the free throw line for his first free throws of the game. Bull is a 6'1" junior from Manchester, New Hampshire. He and Dieng, the 2 catalysts here for this Eagles squad all season long. And the first substitution into the game here for Wilmington, it is Asher Kemble, the backup big, stands at 6'7". He's a junior as he subs out Malik Beasley. Good on both free throws, and he ties up the game at 8. Stewart needs to get it in, dangerous feed. Matthews is doubled, throws it head cross court to Holloman. The bounce. Kemble's first shot of the game is pure. Wilmington 4 for 7 from the floor here to start. Eagles 3 for 8. Warnock on the left wing, got the step, gets inside. Harry Warnock, who coming back from his ACL surgeries, looks like he's got his legs back under him here in the season, making his 5th start of the season. And he gets his first basket on his first field goal attempt. Tied up at 10. 15:45 remaining here in the first half. Dribble handoff. Holloman splits it. Stewart. Met by Dieng. Takes him on the dribble. Hanging finish. No. And Dieng the rebound. He'll outlet it for Sanders. Sanders, the sweet move to drive. Missed it. Dieng cleans up the offensive rebound. Back up. No. Got his miss one more time. Blocked by Matthews. As it'll go out of bounds. Last touch by Wilmington. As Taquan Williams, a freshman from Brockton, Massachusetts, will be the first Eagle off the bench here. Harris subs out with 15:19 to play here in the first half. Williams 4th on the team in points per game at 8.6. Gets it into a cot. Nearly stripped by Stewart, and Kyle Elsie and Trey Duncan will be the next subs in here for the Eagles. Sanders and Warnock will sub out. Williams trigger under the basket. Looking for a man. He's got Dieng in the short corner. Dieng doubled through the thicket of the defense. Dang, Dieng persevering. He's fired up after the bucket. Dieng's got 6 for the Eagles. Dieng and Stewart are going to get teed up here. Jarring back and forth after the whistle. So I believe technical fouls on each Stewart and Dieng. Is the official getting that sorted out with the scores table? Chippy here to start. Yeah, we just picked up a technical foul for the Eagles. He had 9 points and 9 rebounds against Dominican on Tuesday. It'll be Stewart to shoot 2 at the line here. Stewart. Good. So the 2 technical fouls offset each other as Derek Thomas II checks in here for the Eagles, and J. Carter subs in Kayla Matthews. Carter, a senior, 6'2" from Newark, Delaware, into the game for the first time here for Wilmington. So it is Carter, Burton, Kemble, Holloman on the floor here for Wilmington. As it's Williams, Thomas, Alsey, Duncan, and Akot, the 5 on the floor here for the Eagles. Triple handoff here. Akot has it. Net by Carter. Alsey swings it. Duncan, the sophomore, puts it on the deck, gets it back to Kyle, and gets it right back. Nearly stripped. Stifling defense here by Wilmington. Williams tried to carve inside, spins, and is stripped, and Holloman is tripped up by Williams as he tries to cross the timeline. Again, Stewart, Kemble, Holloman, Burton, and Carter, the 5 on the floor here for Wilmington. Harris will sub in. Akot will sub out. So Duncan, Williams, Harris, Thomas, and Alsey, the 5 on the floor here for the Eagles. Side out for Wilmington. Holloman triggers it in. 12 game here to start. Both of these teams getting after it. Stewart inside and is clobbered by Thomas going up with the leg. So it'll be Stewart going back to the free throw line where he's 2 for 2. He's got 4 points in 5 minutes. Also a technical foul. Myrie Stewart, a 6'4" junior from Boothwyn, Pennsylvania. Down both free throws. Stewart leads the team in points per game at 15.7 on the year. And he gives his team a 2-point lead with nearly 6 minutes played here in the first half. Also double handoff with Williams. Thomas takes the 3, fires, and connects. Derek Thomas is second, yes sir, from the outside. As he knocks down his first shot of the game at the 3. And the Eagles up by 1. Pass is deflected out of bounds there by Duncan. Side out here for Wilmington. Burton. Pass it off to Stewart. He crosses over right to left, gets inside, and it's rebounded by Thomas. Harris. Shut off by Stewart. Williams. Thought about the tray. Back to Thomas. Strip. And Wilmington forces the turnover. The drive, the hang, the foul. Call on Williams. It is J. Carter drawing the foul with 13-13 to play here in the first half. A.J. Carter, averaging 5.3 points per game this season. Wilmington shoots the free throw at a 69% clip on the year. Cott checks in for Williams. And we see Bryson Williams into the game here for the first time for Wilmington, a sophomore. Matthews also back in. So it is Kemble, Carter, Williams, Matthews, and Stewart, the 5 on the floor here for Wilmington. 7 minutes nearly gone here in this first half, 15-15. Thomas and Akan not on the same page. And the turnover there by Thomas. As Warnock and Sanders will check in here for the Eagles. Alsey and Duncan will sub out. Warnock, Sanders, Akat, Harris, and Thomas, the 5 on the floor here for the Eagles. Thomas deflects the inbound pass. Harris has it. Back to Derek. Up top to Rob. He takes Matthews on the drive. Stewart garners the rebound. 12:45 to play here in the first half. A 15-15 game here at the Drummer Center on the beautiful campus at Post University in Waterbury, Connecticut. So glad you're with us here on the CACC network on this Saturday afternoon. Matthews puts it on the deck. Fadeaway jump shot, a tough shot, and he got the fortuitous roll. Caleb Matthews, a graduate student, gets the deuce and puts his team back up by a deuce. 17-15. Sanders pulls for 3. First time we'll see Keith Holden check into the game here. Making his 13th appearance on the season. Sanders checks out. Matthews, triple, back iron. And Thomas with the rebound. Kicks. Thomas lines it up. Here comes Wilmington up by 2. Matthews swings it. Williams cars inside. The float game is good. And Wilmington with a 4-point lead. They are 6 for 11 from the floor here to start. Eagles struggling from the floor, 6 for 17. Swings it, Warnock, triple, in and out. Stewart collects the rebound. Matthews gets it back. Dribble handoff for Stewart. Matthews cars inside, fades. And Warnock to the board. Eagles down by 4, 10:45 to play here in this first half. Harris spins into the lane, but no finish. Williams, the drive by Carter is good. And Wilmington with their largest lead in the first half. It's at 6. We'll get a whistle, foul away from the ball, goes on Stewart. Holding Thomas there. As being subs back in, Thomas will sub out. And for the first time on the Wilmington side, we see Caleb Hedgepeth check in. Stewart and Carter sub out. Holloman back in for Wilmington. So does Kemble, Hedgepeth, Matthews, Holloman, and Williams. 5 on the floor here for Wilmington. Dieng pulling his way inside, couldn't finish. And it's thrown ahead to Kemble, drives on a Cox. Nice verticality there by Bull, blocks it out of bounds. Nearing the midway point here in the first half. Williams gets it in. Matthews, backdoor, Holloman, the deuce. Wilmington up by 8 midway through the first half. 8 for 15 from the floor here to start for the Wildcats, and Mark Kuntz wants to call for time. It'll be a full timeout, 23-15. Wilmington with 9:55 to play here in the first half. You are watching Division II men's basketball, and it is on the CACC network. The Marquette timeout. Eagles struggling from the floor. 6 for 20 from the field. As Wilmington not struggling from the floor, they're 8 for 16. It is Sanders, Dieng, Harris, Warnock, and a Cott. 5 on the floor here for the Eagles out of timeout. Williams, Holloman, Matthews, Kemble, and Hedgepeth. The 5 on the floor here for Wilmington out of timeout. Eagles have won the last 3 matchups against the Wildcats. This is the 26th all-time matchup. Eagles 18-7 all-time. Last matchup came on February 11th, 2023, when the Eagles won 92-81. As they'll take it out of the basket here with 9 on the shot clock. Harris the trigger. Not on the same page with the Cott. Sanders tries to save it in, but it goes out of bounds. That will be another turnover there by the Eagles, and Sanders frustrated. Duncan will sub in. Harris will sub out. Hedge pass. Swings it. Holloman fakes out the 3, takes it on the baseline, finds Hedgepeth, who couldn't punch it home, and Warnock the rebound. Cott working the 2-man game with Warnock. Dribble handoff for Sanders. Rob has to put his defender on skates, finds Dieng at the foul line. Dieng jabs, fires, connects. Dieng now with 8, leading the way for the Eagles in score. Matthews tries to find Hedgepeth on a roll. What a play! Hedgepeth puts it up and in. Yes, in the foul. Nice feed there by Matthews, threading the needle. And Hedgepeth has a 3-point play opportunity with 8:50 to play here in the first half. As Burton will check in, Williams will check out. And now on the free throw, can't complete the 3-point play, and Dieng has his 7th rebound in the first half. Dieng is flirting with a double-double here in this first half. 8:40 to play, 25-17 Wilmington. Eagles have lost 4 of their last 6 games in desperate need for a win. Dieng elevates, jumper is good. Dang, Dieng into double figures, give it 10. It's thrown ahead to Holloman. Into the lane, the push shot is off. Dieng, another rebound, but he is stepping on the baseline. As also will check in here for Warnock. With 8:18 to play here in the first half. The Eagles shooting a little bit better from the floor. They're 8 for 22 now, 36%. Both teams cannot find a stroke from downtown. Eagles 1 for 7. Wilmington 0 for 3. Burton the drive and missed the lane. It goes out of bounds. No foul called for Skip Burton. So Eagles will take over down by 6. Eagles 6-2 at the Governor Center this season. Hot, Dieng, Sanders, Duncan, Alsey, 5 on 4. Dieng, the step back J is short. Burton tries to track down the rebound. It's poked away by Duncan. Dieng inside. Dieng up with it. Dieng is waxed by Kemble. Dieng will shoot his first free throws of the game. He's got 10 points, 7 rebounds. No Wildcats in double figures. Knocks down the first with 2. Harris back in. The count will sub out. Then no Wildcats in double figures. It's been a balanced attack with Holloman and Stewart each with 6. DA misses the free throw. Matthews the rebound. It's thrown ahead, intercepted by Sanders. Sanders kicks. Duncan drives. Layup is good. Timeout, Dan Burke with 7:32 to play here in the first half. Eagles cut the deficit to 3. You're watching Division II men's basketball on the CACC network. Out of the Wilmington timeout, Eagles have cut the deficit to 3. Shooting a little bit better here from the floor. They're shooting at a 38% clip, 9 for 24. It is Stewart, Holloman, Burton, Hedgepeth, and Matthews. 5 on the floor here for Wilmington. Hedgepeth has it on the right wing. Holloman, back to Hedgepeth, one more to the corner. Matthews, hard drive on the baseline, and he gets whacked by Sanders. As it's Sanders, Thomas, Harris, Duncan, Alsey, 5 on 4 here for the Eagles. So DA and Akant on the bench, but that will not last for much longer as Akant goes to the scores table. Matthews out on the first of 2. The foul comes in for Sanders. Matthews knocks out back into 2. Goes 1 for 2 and after collide. 7:17 to play here in the first half. Eagles trailing by 4 in a must-win scenario here today. They've lost 4 of their last 6 games. Thomas. Illegal screen set by Alsey. That is also his first personal foul. Little foul trouble here for the Eagles. DeYoung, Sanders, and Williams, each with 2 personal fouls. Stewart triggers it into Holloman. Goes right into the chest of Duncan and says he's too small after that one. Just put him in the weight room. 6:50 to play here in the first half. Lead up to 6 now for Wilmington. Largest lead is at 8 for Wilmington. 6 on the shot clock. Thomas nearly stumbles, kicks it out to the sophomore. And he's too strong on the 3. The rebound belongs to Harris, the fresh 20 for the Eagles. Across the lane is the former Sacred Heart Pioneer. Flips it up in the left hand. Can't get it to fall. Stewart the rebound. It's over to Amari Stewart. Now Burton in the corner. Drives it on a cut. And I think also got a piece of that one. As the Cot moves it into the front court. Nearly stripped. The Cot gets on the floor. They're playing Twister. A jump ball, I believe. Possession Eagles. As Warnock and Williams getting set to check back in here for post.
Did you check and see if there's a credit card or account under your social security number?
I'll see an account will sub out. So it's Williams, Warnock, Thomas, Harris, and Duncan, the 5 on the floor here for your Eagles. With 6:01 to play here in the first half. Harris. The cross. The sweep move, and it's deflected out of bounds by as Ray J. Carter will step back in here for Wilmington. They sub out Stewart. Duncan the trigger on the side out. Gets it into Quest. 9 on the shot clock. Swings it. Warnock goes behind the back. Oh, Harry Warnock with some sauce. Eagles back within 4. Holloman, the kick. The J by Burton is good. It's a 3. Post has only had a minute with time with the lead. Duncan back to Warnock. Bars inside, kicks it out. Williams triple. Thomas right there for the offensive rebound. Duncan pulls it up. Left it short. Thomas fighting again, but Hedgepeth has the rebound. Holloman the stop and pop. Out of bounds, last touch by Holloman. Cott and Sanders check back in. Harris and Duncan will sub out. Asher Kemba back into the room on the Wilmington side for Hedgepeth. Under the basket out of bounds here. Williams to trigger. 4:48 to play here in this first half. Williams gets it in, Rob's open, and he's too strong on the triple. Rebound, DeYoung. Almost out of strip, goes out to a cut, pumps on the 3. Uses the Warnock screen, drives, fades, and hits. Got the friendly roll. 5-point game, 31-26. Matthews throws it ahead. Carter catches. The cutter is Matthews. The drive, the spray out. It's a Burton triple. That's off right. And Sanders climbs the ladder to the board. Sanders on the drive, hangs. Can't finish. Burton the rebound. 4 minutes to play here in the first half. Eagles 10 for 30 from the floor. It's been a struggle to put the ball in the basket. Holloman, bars, spins, shoots. Warnock and Holloman fighting for the rebound. We're going to jump ball possession Wilmington with 3:41 to play here in the first half. Stewart coming back in here on the Wilmington side. They sub out Holloman. Dieng and Thomas back in. Williams and Warnock will sub out. So it's Thomas, Dieng, Duncan, Akot, and Sanders with 5 on the floor here for post. Eagles average 76.9 points per game on the year. They only have 26 with a little over 3 minutes to play in this first half. Stewart. Matthews backdoor. Carter swallowed up by Duncan, and the Eagles couldn't save it at play. Wilmington will inbound into the basket, or in the trigger. Gets it into Matthews. Cross-court skip. It's a Carter triple. And Dieng scores for the rebound. Thomas will stop and pop. Fouled on the jumper by Asher Kemble. Free throws here for Thomas. Hedgepath back in. Kemble will sub out. We were out rebounding the Wildcats 23-16. Done a lot of offensive rebounds, 10-4 in that category. Eagles. Neither team can find the stroke from Thomas. Knocks down the first two. We've got one more coming up. Hedgepath back in. Kemble will sub out. Kemble subs out with 2 personal fouls in 11 minutes. Thomas knocks down all 3 from the line. And it's a 2-point game, 31-29. Thrown ahead, Dieng with the interception. Oh, he looked like a cornerback there, just reading the pass and picking it off. Sanders back out. Thomas kicks. Rob, thought about the 3, brings it back out for the reset. Dieng's got 11 points. Has it poked away. Hedgepath to theft. And Matthews will settle it down. Out, Hedgepath, high archer. And Sanders with his second rebound of the game. It's to Duncan, back out Thomas, shoots. .210 to play here in the first half. 2-point lead for the visiting team. Wilmington, the number 3 seed in the South Division. The Eagles, the number 4 seed in the North Division. The cutter is Stewart laying it in. Dieng kicks. Akot drives. Back to Dang. Push shot is good. Akot the 5th. The drive. The shovel. Sanders up high. Down hard. Tie game. Eagles fight their way back and knock the score up at 33 with 1:26 to play here in the first half. You are watching Division II men's basketball on the CACC Network. Eagles have responded here with a response. Their last lead was when it was 15-14 as they tied up here with the Sanders dunk. And it is Duncan, Thomas, Akot, Harris, and Warnock. 5 on the floor here. Eagles force another turnover. They're really starting to crack down here in the backcourt. Akot the drive, and the foul goes on Hedgepath. So it'll be Akot shooting 2 at the line. He's got 4 points. He's 2 for 2 from the foul line. Akot on Tuesday had 12 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, and 4 steals in the 8-point loss. He was stuffing the stat sheet. 72% free throw shooter, 92 for 127 on the year. He's 3 for 3 in this one. Williams back in. Carter will sub out for the Wildcats. As the Eagles take their first lead since it was 15-14. 80 seconds to play here in this first half. Akot, all courts. This pressure here has been working for the Eagles. Burton crosses the timeline, bounces it to Holloman. So with 9 turnovers here. Hedgepath hands it off. Matthews spins, gets into the lane, floats it up, and halfway down and out. Harris has the rebound with under a minute to play in the first half. Akot settles it down, resets it off the screen. Duncan. Nearly poked away by Burton, but they call him for the reaching foul. So it'll be free throws here for Duncan with the Eagles in the bonus. Trey Duncan, a sophomore, a Connecticut native from Meriden. The 1-1 earns himself 1 more free throw. We haven't seen Malik Beasley in a while on the Wilmington side. They're getting some nice contributions from Kemba and Hedgepath off of the bench. He goes up by 4. There's an 11-second difference between the 2 clocks, shot clock to game clock. Matthews couldn't hold on. And another turnover for Wilmington. They're starting to accumulate. That's the 10th turnover here in the first half. So it's been sloppy here for the Eagles this first half, but they have a 4-point lead. As they are 9-1 when leading at halftime on the year. Dieng gets it in. It's Dieng, Harris, Warnock, Akot, and Sanders. With the shot clock dark, the Eagles can sit on it and take the final shots of the half. Harris at the controls. Dieng goes to set the down screen. Sanders comes off of it. Back to Dieng. Thought about the triple. 5 seconds. Kicks. Warnock straight on triple. That will take us to the end of the first half. Eagles 37. Wildcats 33. Deng Dieng led the way for the Eagles with 13 points and 9 rebounds. Again, Eagles 9-1 when leading at halftime on the year, trying to snap their 2-game losing streak. We'll be back after halftime. Don't go anywhere on the CACC network. welcome you back here to the Trubner Center on the beautiful campus at Post University in Waterbury, Connecticut. Halftime is nearing its conclusion, and we are getting set for the start of the second half between the Eagles and the Wildcats. The Eagles only had 2 minutes and 18 seconds with the lead in that first half, but they have a 4-point advantage heading into the second half. I'm Griffin Cass here on the CACC Network. So glad you're with us here on this Saturday afternoon. After today, for the Eagles, only 6 games remain in the regular season. This season has just flown by. As the Eagles in desperate need of a victory here, they've lost 4 of their last 6 games. And very important to get a win here today to shift the momentum back, regain the confidence. Harris, Akot, Sanders, Dieng, Warnock. The 5 to start here for the Eagles. Matthews, Stewart, Burton, Holloman, and Beasley. That will be the 5 to start here for Wilmington. Beasley only played 4 minutes in that first half, but he'll start the second here. It'll be the Eagles ball to begin this second half of play, moving from right to left. Dieng triggers it in, and the second half is underway. Eagles shot 13 for 36 from the floor in that first half. Wilmington 12 for 31. Akot elevates, shoots, and airballs. Both teams could not find a range from downtown. A total of 2 threes made here in the game. Eagles 1 for 12. Wilmington 1 for 8. Holloman. Burton cars inside. Almost coughed it up. Back out Holloman. He'll try the jumper. It's off the mark on the 3. And Sanders has a rebound. Goes behind the back. Harris goes back door. Runs into a wall, and Beasley balanced attack from Wilmington in that first half. No players in double-figure scoring. Holloman and Stewart each have 8 leading the way. As Harris gets it into Dieng on the block. Dieng puts a muscle into his hustle on that one and finishes the deuce. The Eagles strike first here in the second half, leading by 6. Holloman inside, challenges Warnock, couldn't finish. Beasley fighting for the rebound, and we'll get a jump ball. And it will stay here with Wilmington as Hedgepath checks in, Stewart checks out. It'll be Wilmington to trigger under the basket. Burton gets it in. Beasley gets it right back to Skip. A little over a minute gone here in the second half. Matthews. Drawn by Sanders. Nearly stripped. Matthews kicks it. Dieng deflects it out of bounds. As Duncan will sub in here. Shot clock here for the Wildcats. Matthews triggers it in. Beasley has it down low. The baby hook is off the mark. And Dieng hauls in his 10th rebound of the game. So Dieng now has a double-double with 15 and 10. He had 9 and 9 against Dominican on Tuesday. Harris swings it out of Akot. Akot wants to isolate here on Hedgepath. Swings it. Warnock. Drive kick. Akot pulls up from the nail. One shot off the mark. It's Duncan snatching the offensive rebound. Eagles doing really well collecting the offensive boards. It's kicked out to Akot. His 3 is halfway down and out. 2 minutes played here in the second half. 39-33 Wilmington. Hedgepeth on the left wing. Feeds it inside. Beasley wants to work on D.A. Just used his size there to overpower Dang, and he finishes the noose. Back to a 4-point game. Here's a former Sacred Heart pioneer, Quest Harris. Swings it to a cot. Kicks it out to Dieng. And wedges it in. It's off the mark. And it's over to Matthews here on the right side of the perimeter. Uses the Beasley screen. Gets it right back. Elevates, shoots, and misses. A cot climbs the ladder for the board. And he'll race it into the front court. Goal. Harris. Dieng. The drive. And it's swallowed up by Beasley and Hedgepeth. 17:02 to play here in the second half. Eagles will take it under the basket with 17 on the shot clock. Into a count. His jump shot is short. Hurt in the board. The trailer is Matthews. His triple is off the heel. Hedgepeth the board. And a reset with Holloman. Takes it inside. So Liv Holloman with a pretty move. Back to a 2-point game. Harris on the baseline, elevates, scoops, can't score. Beasley the board. Wilmington can take the lead on this possession, and they tie it up with Burton finding Hedgepeth for the big shot. It's a 6-0 run here for Wilmington to tie the game back up. Nearly 4 minutes gone here in this second half. Williams and Alsey head to the scorer's table to get set to check in for the Eagles. Dieng puts it on the deck. Fades. Can't find a stroke there. They're in the board. And they throw it ahead to Matthews. Angles to the baseline. Matthews kicks it out. Nearly intercepted there by Kant. Relocates. Triple. Book it. Caleb Matthews from downtown. It's a 9-0 run for Wilmington to take a 3-point lead. Warnock inside, and he's fouled on his journey to the basket. Alsey and Williams sub in for Harris and Warnock. Asher Kemble for Wilmington. Beasley was set out. 15:25 to play here in regulation. Williams under the basket to trigger. Gets it in. Intercepted momentarily. Alsey regains it. And Mark Kuntz calls for a timeout. Good timeout there by Kuntz. 15:20 to play here in regulation. We'll step aside here on the CACC network. Dieng, Alsey, Williams, Duncan, the 5 on the floor here out of the timeouts. Matthews, Kemble, Burton, Hedgepeth, and Holloman, the 5 on the floor here for Wilmington out of the timeout. 15:20 to play here in regulation. Williams to trigger, gets it into Dieng. The baseline jumper is off the heel. Hedgepeth hauls it in. Gets it back. Finds Kemble on the roll. Kemble bounces it to Holloman. Bounce pass, back to Kemble, waiting, and is blocked by Aussie. He consumed that one. Arcot, stutter step, gets inside. Stolen away, Holloman ahead of the field for some showtime. 11-0 run for Wilmington to take a 5-point lead. DA fades and is fouled by Matthews. DA 1 for 2 from the foul line. 15 points, 10 rebounds. 5 of those 10 offensive rebounds. Tied for 4th in the conference in points per game at 16.9. He's 57 for 70 from the foul line on the year coming into this game. Thomas checks in for a top. Ends the 11-0 run there with a made free throw. Got them both. 3-point lead for Wilmington. 14-21 remaining in regulation. Dangerous pass there. Williams almost got his fingertips on it. Matthews, edge pass. Back to Caleb at the top of the key. Swings it over to Holloman. Captain there. A step back. Put him up to Jay. Back up top. Matthews. Drives, leans in, scoops, and doesn't score. But he drew the foul on Dieng. That is Dieng's 3rd personal foul. And Matthews will shoot 2 at the line. Matthews, a 91% free throw shooter. Wilmington 8 for 11 from the foul line on the game as Matthews first one short, a rare miss. Drops in the back end of 2, he'll check out. A.J. Carter will check in. 4-point lead for Wilmington. DA, kick out. But the drive set here for the Eagles. Warnock gets it. Thomas across the lane, one-legged fade. Aussie regains it. Knocked out of bounds, last touch by Burton, and the Eagles will take it under the basket. Williams to inbound, gets it into DA, who sees a double. Tries to dribble out of it. As Seth on DA, he'll pull it back for 3. Duncan right there for the offensive rebound. Couldn't put it back up and in. And it is last touch by Holloman. As he's up, getting back to his feet. Holden will sub in. Dean will sub out. And the Cott will also check in here. Duncan will sub out. So it's Williams, the Cott, Holden, Alcee, and Thomas. The 5 on the floor here for your Eagles. With 13 and a half to play in regulation, trailing by 4 in a must-win scenario here. Holden gets it, fires, in and out on the 3. Edge cut the rebound. Burton Lines it up for three. For an iron. Rebound, a Koch. 7 minutes gone here in the second half. Eagles have lost 4 of their last 6 games. They were 12-2 before that. And a turnover there, their 8th turnover of the game. Harris subs in for Williams. And Williams on the Wilmington side subs in for Burton. Eagles showing a full court press. Carter. Williams. Back to Leje. Crossover right to left. Gets inside. Travel. Picked up that pivot foot. And Warnock will sub in here for Alsey on the Eagles side. 12:46 to play here in regulation. Bench points nearly identical. Wilmington 11, post 10. Wilmington gets it back, cross out the tray, and travel. And Sanders will come in here for Kate. And Mark Kuntz is irate on the Eagles sideline. Williams gets it into Carter. The clock gets around the screen. Campbell nearly fumbled it there, regains it. And they'll hand off here with Carter. 12 on the shot clock. Hedgepeth hands it off. Williams tries to turn the corner and he's fouled. The reaching foul against Sanders. That's a culprit.
Yeah, but he's all done.
And then we'll trigger it in to Kemble. Kemble thought about the jumper. Williams will take it and make it. It's a 3. 7-point lead for Wilmington. Outscoring the Eagles 15-4 here in the second half. Koch stumbles and is fouled by Carter. Koch a little slow to get up. Dieng and Williams will sub back in here. Gets it in off the side out. Gets it right back from Warnock. Sanders, triple. Dieng the offensive rebound. His 11th of the game. One more to the corner. Sanders, 2 for $1. No sir. And Carter has a rebound. Holloman. Hedgepeth. Carter. Defense there by Harris. Back out for Williams. Bobble the pass, regains it. Hedgepeth back out. Williams triple. Campbell is stepping on the baseline there, fighting with Sanders for the rebound. And the Eagles will take over 10:59 to play here in regulation. Eagles trailing by 7 in a game that they just need to win here. They also fall down to 5-5 in conference. Sanders. Dieng. Williams, a step back J, pure. Much needed bucket for Taquan Williams and the Eagles. And we'll get a timeout on the floor. 10:40 to play here in regulation. 48-43, Wilmington. a timeout. Eagles trail by 5. As it is Williams, Harris, Sanders, Dieng, and Warnock, the 5 on the floor here for the Eagles. And it's Wilmington ball with Holloman, Williams, Carter, Stewart, and Kemble. Holloman then down, gets it into Williams, who's immediately trapped over the cross court to Carter. Sees a double, and goes to that sideline. Holloman on the cut. Holloman gets up in the air and is whacked by Warnock. Holloman's got some athleticism, man. He's had a few nice dunks here in the open floor, and he just raises up and forces Warnock to foul. Holloman off the heel on the first of 2. These are his first free throws of the game. Only Wildcat in double figures with 12. Make it 13 as he drops in the back end of 2. Nearing the midway point here in the second half, it's a 6-point lead for Wilmington as they are outscoring the Eagles 16-6 here in this second half. Williams cross court to Harris. He drives, sprays it out Dieng, and is fouled on the take to the basket. Matthews and Beasley check back in. Kemble and Holloman sub out. Warnock spins, lays it up and in. Harry Warnock taking out his do-it-yourself kit for the deuce. Under 10 to play. Here in regulation, 49-45. Wilmington. The Eagles trying to snap their 2-game losing streak. Backdoor. Stewart, reverse. No, but he got hit by Warnock. That's another foul on Harrison Warnock. Back out with a brief timeout here. Dieng, the only Eagle in double figures with 17. Holloman, the only Wildcat in double figures with 13. As it's Stewart at the line to shoot a pair. Free throws good for Amiri Stewart in that trip. And it's back up to a 6-point lead for Wilmington. Sanders the bounce. Dieng. Backing his way down. Kick out. Warnock. Crossover. Spin. And they call it travel. Crowd here at the Drummer Center doesn't like the whistle. Williams, Harris, Duncan, Dieng, and Warnock to 5. Duncan nearly gets a steal there for Curry Garner. So 9:15 to play here in regulation. Matthews, Carter, Williams, Stewart, and Beasley. The 5 on the floor here for Wilmington. Stewart spins off of Dieng and finishes. And Amari Stewart lets him know about it after the bucket. That's an 8-point game. Wilmington 20, post 8 here in the second half. Williams triple. Beasley the rebound, and Carter will slow it down here for the Wildcats. 8:35 to play in regulation. Dieng nearly took that one off of the anticipation. And Thomas will set out Dieng here. Stewart the trigger off the side out. Burton, Matthews, Carter. On the shot clock. Stewart leans in, fires. That'll be a 30-second shot clock violation on Wilmington. Excellent defense there by the Eagles. As a cop will sub out Harris. Eagles in desperation here for a run. They've not shot it well from the floor at all. 16 for 55, just having a really hard time putting the ball in the basket. Then they average 76 points per game on the year as a team as Thomas. And that's been the story of the game right there. There's just a lid on the basket for the Eagles. The Eagles average 76.9 points per game on the year. And they're only at 45 here with 7:35 to play in regulation. Carter takes a shot on the drive and gets the foul drawn on Bull. So it'll be free throws here for LaJ Carter, the 6'2 senior from Newark, Delaware. Sanders will check in, Williams and Warnock will sub out. Carter looking for the back end of 2. Got it. Hedgepeth and Holloman check in, Carter and Beasley check out. So it's a Cott, Dieng, Duncan, Thomas, and Sanders, the 5 on the floor here for the Eagles. Trailing by 9, 7.5 to play in regulation. They've lost 4 of their last 6. Before that, they were 12-2 to start the year. Cott cars inside. Scoop, no, but he is whacked by Holloman going up for the layup. So he's Bull at the foul line, where he has been flawless, 4 for 4. He's got 6 points in 25 minutes. Nylon on the first of 2. Eagles have done a great job defensively. I mean, you can't really point to too many errors. It's just offensively, not a lot of fluidity. But they just also have knocked down the rolls here. As the Cott is now 6 for 6 from the foul line. Back to a 7-point game. It is the Wildcats 21, the Eagles 10 here in the second half. Stewart. He's fouled on the floor, and Okot is frustrated after the whistle. Thomas checks out. Or no, he doesn't check out. Looks like he's just going to be attended to by the training staff just for a moment. Let's step aside here just for 30 seconds on the CACC network. Back here in the Drubner Center with 7:09 to play in regulation. In the Eagles' 21st game of the season, they are 14-6, 5-4 in conference. Lost 4 of their last 6 as Burton kicks it, hedge pass. The triple is in and out, and Thomas has the rebound. Caught. Cars inside, elevates, and scores. A much-needed bucket there for the Eagles to bring them within 5. Matthews tries to break the press. Takes it to a bad spot there on the sideline. Throws it up to Holloman, who challenges D.A. The scoop is no good. Oh my goodness, he got it back on the floor and put it back up and in. What a highlight. In that kind of day for Talib Holloman. He's got 15 points now, 7 for 12 from the floor. What an uncanny bucket. D.A. triple straight on is too strong. Wilmington looking to get to the plus 500 mark in conference. They are 5-5. In CACC play, 12-10 on the year. Matthews bounces it. Stewart lays it. And it's a 9-point lead for Wilmington. 25-12. They're outscoring the Eagles here in this second half as Dieng took a shot, grabbing his neck. Burden settles it down. Wilmington has posts right where they want them. They can throw a few knockout blows here in these next few minutes. Matthews, baseline, scoop. Holloman, tip is good. So Lim Holloman gets the lead up to double digits for Wilmington, and they have dominated in this second half. Post was up by 4 heading into this second half, and it's all going right for Wilmington. Dieng is called for the offensive foul. Wilmington 27, Post 12. As Mark Cruz wants to talk things over, all the momentum is with the Wildcats. 4:54 to play here in regulation. We'll be back here on the CACC Network. Back out of the Eagles timeout, 4:54 to play in this second half. It's 60-49 Wilmington. They have took it right to the Eagles in the second half, outscoring them 27-12. There's a 4-point deficit for the Wildcats coming into the second half. And Dan Berg must have fired his team up in that halftime break because they have come out firing here in this second half. They've held the Eagles to 12 points in the second half thus far. 4:35 to play in regulation. 10 on the shot clock. Matthews with it. Crossover, right to left. Got the step on DA. Off the window, no. Warnock has the rebound, and he was fouled by Stewart coming down with it. As Luzi will come back in here for Wilmington. Yeah, 1-1 here for the Eagles. He'll set out Stewart. Stewart with 4 personal fouls now. So he'll sub out with 14 points, 4 rebounds. Warnock to shoot 2 at the line. Big free throws here for Harry Warnock. Knocks down the first to earn himself 1 more. Strong on the second. The 10-point game under 4.5 to play in regulation. Still time left for the Eagles. But he's definitely looking bleak. It's into Beasley. Swatted by Sanders. Packed that one out of bounds. And Wilmington will take the money to the basket. And gets it into Holloman. Matthews kicks, edge pass, triple, too strong, Sanders aboard. The Eagles are still bleeding, 4 minutes to play. Need some scores here on the offensive end. Williams, triple, book it! Taquan Williams ring it up from downtown. Holloman thought about the triple. 7-point lead for the Wildcats. On the shot clock, Holloman leads it to Matthews, and Sanders picked it out of bounds. And Stewart checks back in here for Wilmington. Hedgepeth will grab a seat. $7 shot clock here for Wilmington. They have not completed the mission yet. Stewart triple. Lacotte making defenders miss, scoops and scores. A mini 5-0 run for the Eagles brings them back within 5. Dangerous pass. Eagles force a turnover. It has looked bleak this whole second half until now. Lacotte takes over, kicks it. Sanders triple. Governor Center would have exploded if that went down. Dieng commits a foul on Stewart with 2:48 to play here in the in the second half. Stewart will shoot at the free throw line with Wilmington in the bonus. And Dieng just fouled out. Picks up his 5th personal foul. Dieng is done with 17 points, 11 rebounds. Thomas checks in his spot. Stewart earns himself 1 more free throw as Carter checks in for Matthews. Can the Wilmington hang on here? They've had control for pretty much the entire way. Eagles threatening here. As the lead is back up to 7 for the Wildcats. 2 made free throws there from Stewart. Clutch from the line. Williams, Thomas, Warnock, Cott, and Sanders. The 5 on the floor here for post. Williams. Steps back. Triple. Warnock right there for the offensive rebound. Back to a 5-point game. Under 2.5 to play in regulation. Burton. Wants to call for time. 2:20 to play here in regulation. You are watching Division II men's basketball on the CACC network. We'll be back in just a moment. Wilmington has had the lead for 73.5% of the game. They're only up by 5 now. The largest lead of the game was at 11 when it was 60-49 just a few moments ago. The Eagles have gone on an 8-2 run since it was that score. As Stewart looks like he is bleeding, so he'll need to be attended to by the training staff. Both teams will go back to their coaches. Largest lead for the Eagles when it was at 6, when it was 39-33. And Wilmington has had the lead for 27 minutes and 40 seconds here in this one. But again, only up by 5. Still time left for the Eagles, but they need stops and scores. And Dieng, who is tied for 4th in the conference points per game at 16.9, has fouled out here for the Eagles with 5 personal fouls. So it's Sanders, Akant, Thomas, Williams, and Warnock, the 5 on the floor here for your Eagles. Matthews, Burton, Holloman, Stewart, Beasley. 5 on the floor here for Wilmington. Matthews will trigger on the sideline. Sanders will guard the inbound pass. 2:20 remaining here in regulation. Eagles trying to get out of this funk here where they are 2-4 in their last 6 games. Before that, they were 12-2. Stewart. Nice defense there by Thomas. Finds Beasley inside. Beasley up and good. And a foul. That's the last thing the Eagles needed out of the timeouts. And the lead back up to 7 for Wilmington. And Beasley has a chance to add to it. Beasley off the mark on the free throw. Can't complete the 3-point play. Approaching the 2-minute mark here in regulation. Williams thought about the triple. Steps back, finds Warnock. Thomas in the corner. Triple. And the weak side rebound, Burton. Eagles 20 for 64 from the field here in this one. Burton bounces it to Beasley. Thought about the backdoor pass to Holloman. Now finds Stewart in the mid-post. Spinning on a cot. Putting him in the weight room. Off the window, no. Rebound, Williams. Williams stops. He pops. And he can't connect. And we get the over-the-back foul on Thomas. With 1:25 remaining in regulation. Wilmington in the bonus, so it'll be free throws here for Malik Beasley, who was just at the free throw line. And he missed that first free throw, or he missed the lone free throw to try and complete the three-point play. Beasley in 13 minutes, 4 points, 4 rebounds. Knocks down the first of two, a big free throw there to earn himself one more. Connect on the second. 8-point game. 80 seconds to play here in regulation. Akot dances into lane. Kick out to Williams, but they need it and they get it to Quan Williams. Yes, sir, from the outside. And a timeout on the floor. Back to a 5-point game. 65-60, 1:15 to play here in regulation. We'll be back here on the CACC network. Center, so Quan Williams knocks down a big three to bring the Eagles within 5. And now they're in desperate need here for some forced turnovers. 65-60, 75 seconds remaining in regulation. Burton, Matthews, Stewart, Beasley, and Holloman. The 5 on the floor here for Wilmington. Alsey, Akot, Williams, Sanders, and Thomas. The 5 for the Eagles, and they force the turnover that they needed to force. Holloman throws it out of bounds. Eagles still very much alive. This will be the biggest offensive possession of the game. Akot will trigger under the basket. It's into Williams. Gets around the Warnock screen. Bounce pass inside. Warnock, good, and a foul. Big bucket for the Eagles. And they are within one possession. Williams checks in. Beasley checks out. Warnock, free throw, good. I'll see it. Warnock out. 2-point game. 68 seconds remaining in regulation. Wilmington has led for more than 75% of the game. Stewart throws it ahead. Williams will settle it down at the front court left. Wilmington breaks the press. Under a minute to play here in regulation. Stewart nearly turns it over inside. It goes out of bounds. Last touch by Thomas, they say. 6 on the shot clock. Warnock back in for Alsey. Beasley will sub in here for Wilmington. Timeout called by Dan Burke. Eagles are down, but they are certainly not out. We'll be back here for the final 44.3 seconds remaining on the CACC network. out of the Wilmington timeouts. Eagles have gone on a run. Three different Eagles in double figures. It is D-Lang with 17 and Akot and Warnock each with 12. Burton will inbound under the basket. 6 on the shot clock for Wilmington. Gets it into Williams. Drives it on the baseline. The tough runner is no good. Got his miss. And a fresh 20 for the Wildcats. Matthews the drive, the hang. It goes in. It goes in. Was that Thomas that tipped it in? I believe they'll award Beasley for the bucket, but it appears that an Eagle tipped that one in. Wilmington up by 4. Warnock inside. And a timeout called quickly by Marquez. 14.7 remaining here in regulation. 67-65. What a game here between the Wildcats and the Eagles. A North versus South matchup here in the CACC with the regular season winding down. We'll be back here on the CACC Network. Here at the Drummer Center, 67-65. Wildcats with 14.7 seconds remaining here in regulation. It is Burton, Stewart, Matthews, Williams, and Holloman, the 5 on the floor here for the Wildcats. It's into Stewart. Tries to get out of the double team, nearly tied up, and he throws it out of bounds. He throws it out of bounds. Eagles ball with a chance to tie or take the lead. Eagles have only had the lead for 15% of the game. Akot, Sanders, Thomas, Williams, and Warnock, the 5 on the floor for post. They can tie or take the lead. It's into Warnock. Back to Akot. Drives and has it nearly taken away. Williams with 3. To Akot. Blocked. Warnock gets it. Puts it up. Puts it in! It goes! Beats the buzzer, and we are going to overtime. Can you believe it? A discombobulated offensive possession leads to Harrison Warnock banking it in. He's got 16 points, and we are going to head to overtime. You don't want to go anywhere. Stay tuned here on the CACC Network. We have overtime here in Waterbury, Connecticut. 67 all. Eagles have only led for 14.9% of the game as they force overtime on a Harrison Warnock buzzer beater. And Dang Dieng has fouled out for the Eagles, so it's Thomas, Sanders, Williams, Warnock, and Akot. The 5 on the floor to begin overtime. Beasley, Holloman, Burton, Matthews, Stewart. 5 on the floor here for Wilmington. It will be Beasley and Warnock to jump it up at half court. Eagles right to left. Wildcats left to right. Beasley wins the tip, and Wilmington will have the first offensive possession here in overtime. Stewart puts some muscle into his hustle for the deuce. And Wilmington strikes first here in OT. Eagles have lost 4 of their last 6 games. In a must-win scenario, they were down 60-49 with less than 5 minutes to go, and they ended up tying it up at 67. That pass by Akot, intercepted by Stewart. Matthews inside, Holloman, good off the bank shot, and Wilmington opens up overtime with a 4-0 run. The Eagles are without their leading scorer on the season, Dang Dieng. He fouled out. Sanders on the baseline drive. The shot is short, and Beasley the rebound. Stewart splits the defense, gets inside. A 6-0 run for Wilmington to begin overtime, and they take a 6-point lead. 73-67, 3.5 to play. Warnock hands it off for Williams, a long 3 is off. Stewart the board. Williams settles it down in the front court. It's been all Wilmington here in the first minute and 50 seconds of OT. Stewart the feed inside. Beasley got Warnock up in the air. Couldn't finish. Ball knocked around. Thomas secures it. The Akot spins, scoops, and is fouled. Akot has been pristine from the foul line here today. 6 for 6. 12 points in 34 minutes. Alcee will sub in after the first free throw, presumably for Warnock. Eagles get on the board here in overtime. Alcee in for Warnock. 2:46 to play here in OT. Again, if you're just tuning in, Dang Dieng has fouled out with 5 personal fouls before regulation ended. He's tied for 4th in the CACC in points per game. Here's Akot, who's 8th in the CACC in points per game. Clutch free throws there for Akot. He's 8 for 8 on the game. 4-point lead for Wilmington, 73-69. They were up 60-49 with 4:54 remaining in overtime, and the Eagles force another turnover. Akot soars and is whacked by Matthews. Akot back to the free throw line where he's 8 for 8. And Stewart is slow to get up. And Stewart is in some pain, as he can't really put a lot of weight on that left leg. That is not a good sign if you're a Wildcat fan. So Carter in for Stewart. Akot 9 for 9 from the free throw line. Ten for 10. Eagles within 2. 2:37 to play in overtime. Stewart is out for Wilmington. Matthews gets it in. Carter jumps to get it and goes back to Caleb in the backcourt. He will cross the timeline. The calm demeanor on his face. It is Burton. Hands it off for Holloman. Carter. Matthews. Screen set by Beasley. Matthews turns the corner. Spins. Nearly turns it over. It goes out of bounds. Last touch Wilmington. Thomas with a stifling defense. And Warnock will come in for Aussie. 2:10 remaining in overtime. Eagles can tie or take the lead here on this possession. Stewart, all of a sudden, is rejuvenated, and he's back in. With a slight limp to his walk. Sanders, a cut. The drive. And a blocking foul. Called on Burton. A cut back to the free throw line where he has been sensational. 10 for 10. An opportunity to tie the game up at 73. An instant classic here between the Wildcats and the Eagles. Out 11 for 11. Alsey back in. Warnock out. As Carter subs out for Wilmington. So it is Matthews, Stewart, Beasley, Burton, and Holloman. The 5 on the floor here for the Wildcats. Khan misses his first free throw of the game, and it stays at a 1-point lead for Wilmington. 1:50 to play here in regulation. Burton, dangerous pass. Holloman is fouled by Thomas. And Thomas obviously not pleased with the call. It'll be free throws here for Holloman. Get the first of 2 to fall. Warnock back in. Alsey out. And it appears that Wilmington is just running out of gas here. It seems like the Eagles have a lot of gas left in the tank, so if you're a Wilmington fan, you do not want to see this game go into a second overtime. As Holloman, calm, cool, and collected on the second of 2. 2-point lead for the Wildcats. They've had the lead for 76.3% of the game. Sanders, a minute and a half to play here in overtime. It's to Warnock in the short corner. They go across the lane. He'll kick it out. It's a Williams 3 for the lead. For the lead! Took one. Williams with a downtown hits. And the Eagles take a 1-point lead. Knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Sanders. Timeout called on the floor. The Eagles lead by 1. Can you believe it? They've had the lead for only 13.7% of the game. We'll be back here with the final 1:15 left in overtime. here at the Drumner Center. Taquan Williams just hit his biggest three of the season to get him up to 11 points. He's 3 for 7 from downtown. The freshman from Brockton, Massachusetts. With a huge three to put the Eagles up by 1 here in overtime with 1:15 left. The Eagles have had the lead for only 14% of the game, totaling 6 minutes and 7 seconds. It is Stewart, Veasley, Matthews, Holloman, and Burton, the 5 on the floor here for Wilmington. Alsey, Williams, Akot, Sanders, Thomas, 5 for post. Stewart to trigger. Deflected by Thomas. Deflected by Alsey, out of bounds. Wilmington will redo the inbound. In a better spot now. Stewart throws it into Williams, blocked by Stewart. And a foul on Alsey. What a sequence. Williams with the interception, found Alsey, and Stewart with a magnificent rejection. And it will be free throws here for Burton. Both teams in the double bonus. Burton ties it up. Carter in for Matthews. Warnock in for Alsey. Burton gives Wilmington the lead with 2 clutch free throws. Coming up on a minute to play here in overtime. Taquan Williams has had the hot hand for the Eagles. Thomas, backdoor, Akot, fouled. Akot, who was 11 for 12 from the free throw line, will shoot 2. 58.1 remaining here in overtime. Knocks it up at 76. Alsey in for Warnock. Matthews in for Carter on the Wildcat side. Got the fortuitous roll on the second of 2. He's 13 for 14 from the free throw line, and the Eagles with a 1-point lead. Matthews. And Burt calls the timeout on the Wilmington side. We'll step aside here with 58.1 remaining in overtime. Wilmington ball out of the Dan Burke timeouts. 58.1 remaining in regulation. Eagles 77, Wildcats 76 in what has been an instant classic here at the Drebner Center on this Saturday afternoon in the beginning of February. Matthews, Burton, Holloman, Stewart, and Beasley. 5 on the floor here for the Wildcats. Sanders, Alsey, Acott, Williams, Thomas. The 5 for the Eagles. Matthews gets it in to Burton. He's doubled. Turns it over. Thomas a steal. And the Eagles force the turnover. That pressure. Too much for the Wildcats. Acott wants a clear out. Gets it to Dieng. Goes back door. Acott bounces it. Sanders, the reverse, blocked out of bounds by Beasley. Warnock will sub in for Alsey. 37.5 seconds remaining in overtime. Eagles clinging to a 1-point lead. They've had the lead for 14.9% of the game. It's into Acott. He elevates, shoots, air ball. Stewart the rebound, throws it at the Holloman. It's picked off by Sanders. Williams settles it down. There's about a half-second difference between shot clock and game clock. As the officials call the whistle here. This definitely has something to do with the game or shot clock. So it's a side out for the Eagles. 27.2 remaining on the game clock. 26 on the shot clock. The car will inbound. Goes into the backcourt for Williams. He's doubled. Thomas inside. Warnock. Fouled by Beasley. 2 big free throws coming up here for Harry Warnock. He's 2 for 3 from the foul line. 21.1 remaining in overtime. Warnock can't connect on the to Williams and Stewart check in for Beasley and Carter. Warnock takes the second. Alsey in for Warnock for defensive purposes. Sanders, Alsey, Acott, Williams, Thomas. 5 on the floor for the Eagles. Matthews, Stewart, Williams, Burton, Holloman. 5 on the floor for Wilmington. They have a chance to tie or take the lead. And they'll take a timeout here at 21.1 remaining. Step aside here on the CACC Network. Don't go anywhere. Out of the Danberg timeout, 21.1 seconds remaining in overtime. It's 78-76, the home team. As the Eagles have only led for 15.4% of the game. They've had the lead for only 6 minutes and 52 seconds. Alsey, Williams, Acott, Thomas, Sanders, 5 on the floor for the Eagles. Matthews needs to get it in. He does to Williams. Gets it right back. Throws it out to Burton. Drives, scoops, misses. It's into the hands of Acott. He'll throw it out to Williams, who will not get off a shot. Back to Sanders. While throwing it inside to Alsey. And Sanders was fouled with 5.8 remaining on the clock. And the Eagles have crafted this lead without their leading scorer on the year, Dane Dieng. Lincoln in, Alsea out. Sanders at the line for 2 huge free throws. He has not been to the free throw line here in this one. All courts on the first and 2. This next one will make it a 2-possession game with 5.8 seconds remaining. Matthews to trigger, gets it into Holloman, gets it right back. Matthews into the front court, and the Eagles, can you believe it? They win it. Improbably. They win in overtime, snap their 2-game losing streak, and they advance to 15-6 on the year, 6-4 in conference. What a win. An instant classic between the Wildcats and the Eagles. It looked bleak for much of the second half for the Eagles, and yet they come out here with an inspiring victory, and they run back to the locker room. Up next for the Eagles, they're going to travel to Bloomfield College to face off on a Wednesday night showdown at 7:30 p.m. And for Wilmington, they're going to host Jefferson on Wednesday at 6 p.m. We'll get the post-game interview coming up for you right after this. For our entire TNN crew here at the Drumner Center, I'm Griffin Cass signing off. Eagles snap their 2-game losing streak. right, Griffin Cass alongside Harry Warnock after the Eagles win 80-78 over Wilmington in overtime. So, Harry, you had that game-time bucket to send it to OT. Just take me through that final play.
Yeah, I mean, I know we had to get a shot up, and we wanted to run something for Taquan. And obviously, they started trapping and jumping the ball. Bo got the shot off. I yelled at him to shoot it. And so I knew there's still some time left, so I got the ball, I put it up, and yeah, it just went in.
So you guys were down 60-49 with 4 minutes and 54 seconds left. Just what ignited that run to be able to get it to overtime?
I think it was our defense and then, making plays. That's the main thing that we got to do when it comes down to the stretch of the game, is just make the big plays, score the baskets, and get stops.
Harry, thanks for taking some time after the game. We're going to bring in Bollicott here.
Sir.
Appreciate it, man. All right, Bull, thanks for taking some time after the game. Just describe what it took to be able to come away with this win, only leading for 16% of the game.
Just most of the season, we fought back a few times, so I think we're just used to it, but we had to get back to just being the team that's on top to start the game, and just have that fight. We had that fight, just keep our composure throughout the whole game.
So you hit 13 free throws in this one. Just how were you able to get to the free throw line so often in this one?
So I've been struggling the past few games on the free throw line, but I just having everyone on the team and the coaches staff having confidence in me to getting downhill, observing contact, and just getting to my spots.
So your partner in crime, Dang Diang, fouled out with late in the second half. How were you guys just able to get it done in overtime without his services?
We just have to have the next man up mentality. So whenever something happens like that, the next man has to be ready, because we all know what we're capable of doing. So we just have the next man up in a situation like that.
Bull, thanks so much for taking some time after the game. Go enjoy the win.
Appreciate you. Thank you for having me.
You as well.
Way to play, young man.